Passage of President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill will have wide-ranging impacts on the U.S. economy, taxes, and government welfare programs, including SNAP. At the Portland Farmers Market at PSU, hundreds of shoppers rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Program benefits to buy fresh produce. Fox Soul's Ward Jollis reports on how vendors and organizers are now bracing for cuts.
Every weekend, thousands of people come to the Portland Farmers Market at Portland State University. For many, SNAP benefits or food stamps make the fresh produce accessible. But looming federal cuts to the SNAP program mean fewer dollars in shoppers' pockets.
So we're all very concerned about the potential impacts of the upcoming SNAP cuts.
Katie Kolker is the executive director at the Portland Farmers Market. The market has long partnered with state programs to stretch those federal dollars, matching SNAP benefits to help families buy more fruits and vegetables.
We have thousands of shoppers who rely on SNAP for their shopping needs, for their food needs. And we don't know exactly how folks are going to get impacted yet, but we know that there will be impacts.
Less funding could mean fewer sales for growers like Chris Hurdle, who owns Sun Gold Farm and a vendor at the market.
People are worried. Yeah, rightfully so. Yeah, farmers are worried about income, the extra income, and people are worried about getting fresh food.
Because of the passage of President Trump's Big Beautiful Bill, more Americans than ever before will need to meet work or volunteer requirements to get benefits. The bill also limits the ability for immigrants, seniors, and people with disabilities to get food stamps too. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that by 2034, 2.4 million people will see their benefits reduced or completely eliminated. If true, it'll cause a slow and devastating impact for markets like this one.
We're definitely concerned that folks are going to either have less money to spend or might even just have their SNAP benefits cut altogether.